An unprecedented move, a preemptive intervention, an effort to prevent the nation's air transportation system from collapsing.
Still happening today.
Still happening now on a record 37th day is the government shutdown as we approach the busy travel holiday. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy this week, remember, our guy, former congressman from northern Wisconsin, had this stunning prediction about air travel as we approach Thanksgiving.
You will see mass chaos. You will see mass flight delays. You'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
The front end of that is upon us, with the Federal Aviation Administration now saying it will reduce flight capacity by 10%. Dozens of airports across the country starting this weekend. For what that means in the short term, and we'll look ahead to the long term as well. Bringing in ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan in Dallas this morning. Dallas, of course, the headquarters for Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport's biggest carrier, Southwest Airlines. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Vince. It's also the headquarters for American Airlines. So either of those airlines is going to be faced with some potential delays because of all this, Vince. And it's not as though the heads of American and Southwest and United and Delta, the others, were sat down in a room with the heads of the FAA and told that this was going to happen. They got word yesterday. So those big carriers have 48 hours essentially to start throttling down their own schedules in a big, big way. They're panicked. Passengers are panicked. They're watching their apps now to ensure that the flight that they have leaving today or tomorrow is still on the schedule. But long and short, they're starting at about 4% of the air traffic capacity being throttled down today and then 10% tomorrow, Vince.
And, Jim, at this point, do we know which airports specifically are affected? And I guess beyond that, I mean, that only matters so much because of the ripple effects of, right? You know, your plane's not at your airport, so they're all affected in some way. But which are among the dozens here that are specifically targeted?
Yeah, the 40 of the biggest ones now, and you're right, Milwaukee is not on that list, but most of the others are. If you're flying from Milwaukee to Chicago, you're flying into an airport that is affected, from Milwaukee to New York, Milwaukee to Dallas, anywhere, you're likely to be affected by this because of that ripple effect. And it happens fairly regularly. You know, when there's bad weather, for example, the FAA can slow down or stop flights from taking off or approaching an airport. And we see the ripple effect from that. So imagine what's going to happen when this is going on nationwide.
Jim, you got to like the fact that there, for safety reasons, you like the preventative plans that are being put in place. But does that also indicate that an end to the shutdown isn't really in sight?
Well, maybe. And, you know, the cynic in you wants to say, well, the FAA is doing this or Sean Duffy is doing this in order to pressure Congress into coming up with some solution to the government shutdown. But, I mean, this is a real practical thing. And with the safety of the flying public involved, people keep pointing back to the incident at Reagan National when, you know, a military helicopter and a commercial jetliner collided. That was being blamed on staffing shortages at that airport. So, you know, there are real consequences potentially to not doing something.
ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan is with us from Dallas this morning. So, Jim, asking for a friend who might have a couple of daughters planning to fly home for Thanksgiving. For those folks who
turkey
have
or
travel
ham?
plans,
Yes, turkey.
Right, later this month, like, do we know, like, say the government reopens tomorrow or Monday, like, is the problem instantly fixed, or is there going to be a lag here as we get back up to speed?
Well, I think there will be a lag. I mean, getting to this point has taken some time. Those air traffic controllers are not getting paid. They haven't for 6 weeks or so, and many of them are getting desperate, taking side gigs that take them away from their jobs in the air traffic control tower. They've been told they have to work regardless, with or without a paycheck. Same with the TSA. Yesterday or 2 days ago at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, the TSA shortage had lines of security checkpoints starting at the checkpoint, going out into the terminal, out the door, down the sidewalk. People were waiting 3 hours just to getting past security. So yeah, there will be a ripple effect once it's all solved too.
Jim Ryan in Dallas this morning, ABC News correspondent, joins us frequently. Jim, really appreciate the insight and information this morning.
Thanks, guys.